mystery chip, what it is, how we're going to use it, when is the best time to going to use it. We're going to answer all of those questions today. First and most obvious mystery chip is the new assistant manager chip. This means that we will be able to assign a manager to our team, and this manager will get us some extra points. Now, this manager will score points regarding some fixture wins, some clean sheets, some goals, beating teams higher than you. You have to see when is the best time to use it for you, but I'm going to review it from a point of view where most of the managers, let's say, have not used the chip or used only one of it, and you have different plans. I'm going to take it as my point of view. When the time comes, I'm going to prepare more and more strategies where it will be feasible for every situation regarding if you have any chips, if you haven't used any of them, if you have used only one or two or three. I will build scenarios for every case possible, so you're going to see it further down the road. We'll have it in game week 24 onwards, so we'll have 8 game weeks up until then, and I will be preparing more and more data around it, and we're going to see how we're going to use it. So now, without further ado, let's go and see what exactly is this mystery chip, so it can become more clear to you and how we're going to use it. The mystery chip is a chip which is assistant manager. It will look something like that. So it's a FPL game week challenge in a nutshell being added to the real game. I don't know if this is going to become permanent or this is going to become somehow of a different scenario for FPL to throw something to break the meta things that we keep doing week in and week out. I'm not quite certain. But regardless, I think that it's an interesting addition to the game and it changes things. So, what it is, it's going to be a chip that is going to attach a manager for 3 weeks. Those 3 weeks, you have a manager right on the left of your bench. This manager will be scoring some points from you. When we can use it, it's going to be used from game week 24 onwards. So you're going to be taking it from 1st of February. If you activate it in 24, you're going to be using it in 24, 25 and 26 and so on. If you activate it in any weeks forward, you'll be having it for 3 weeks. You can have it for double game weeks where you'll be earning double points, which is a brilliant thing to consider. So how this manager is going to earn points? If the team wins, it's going to be a 6-pointer. If the team draws, it's going to be a 3-pointer. Every goal the team scores, it's going to be a 1-pointer. So teams that are scoring a lot of goals might be interesting here. So for example, if Brentford are having a good home run of fixtures and they're scoring goals for fun there, and they win 2 of those home fixtures, those are going to be 12 plus, let's say, 7 points here. And that's going to be amazing. Clean sheet recorded by team though, that would not be Brentford, so you lose points here. So you have to calculate different scenarios. Win over a team at least 5 places higher in the league table. That's a little bit interesting. So for example, if you take a manager from, let's say, Wolves and they defeat, for example, let's say Spurs, you're going to get not only the 6 points for the victory, you're going to get the 10 points from that. And if you even draw against them, it's going to be 5 points extra. So it's going to be basically 8 points for a draw. That's pretty good. In the world, there are a few previews, a couple of quit and pros and cons, blah, blah, blah. So each manager has to be funded from your team budget. That's pretty important. You start with the budget you have. For example, in my team, I have the budget of, let's see, the budget of 103 million.1. So this manager will be funded from that budget. It's not going to be an actual budget spent for that manager. Manager prices are going to be between 0.5 and 1.5. No price changes are going to be there. So you know you maximum need to spend 1.5. That means that probably Arne Slot, Guardiola, Arteta are going to be 1.5 and they're going to cost you more money. For example, a manager of the likings of Ruud van Nistelrooy, for example, is going to be probably 0.5 and it's going to be way cheaper for it. You can change the manager within that period, but it will cost you a transfer. So it will cost you from your personal transfers to swap managers. So maybe is it a good strategy to go for 2-week periods for a team and then for the third attack with a new manager? You'd never know. The stunt does allow you to change, or a -4 if you take a hit for it. So you can even take a hit. So probably it's best to stick. That's the thing I said. So if you get a manager, he will count as one of the players from your team. So if you already have 3 players from Liverpool, guess what? You cannot be picking Arne Slot. So you have to be careful with that, because the manager can block you from a transfer for that week. That can be dangerous. So for example, if you're tripling up on a team like Liverpool on a double game week, are you really going to go for Arne Slot? Do you care that much for Arne Slot victories? Or you want to stack up on those double week players? We'll have to see, and we'll have to decide. The good thing about that thing is that there are going to be different strategies and different approaches to take it, and we're going to discuss all of them. You cannot use another chip at the same time. That's the most important thing. If you activated the chip, next 3 weeks you're not activating any other chip. So you cannot stack up free hit and manager chip. You cannot stack bench boost and manager, triple captain and manager. No, you cannot use your wild card in that period, which is also very, very important. So while the assistant manager is in play, you cannot use any of your other chips. Have that in mind. So that's the chip in a nutshell. Now, looking at the chip and how it's going to be used, let's discuss from game week 24 onward. So there are big rumors that the Liverpool game from 24 against Everton is going to be rescheduled and it's going to be in play. I would say that if Liverpool here face Bournemouth, Wolves, Man City and Everton in comparison, I think that is not the best fixture run, because you want 2 players from Liverpool for that double up, possibly 3. You cannot use a triple captain if you have it left. And then you face Man City, which is not the easiest of fixtures. For Everton, Leicester, Liverpool, Palace, United, very, very mixed bag of fixtures. You have to have in mind that game week 29, and possibly game week 35 or 34, I'm not exactly sure, but I think one of those fixtures is going to be a blank game week, while game weeks like 33 and then 36 are going to be double game weeks. So you have to have that in mind. So you have to be careful about how you use your chip. Looking at the possible strategies, let's say that you want to use it in a double week. That would mean that no free hit and no bench boost will be used in that week, which can be a little bit scary, and no wild card, by the way. There are some good periods in place where you can activate the wild card, and by the looks of the change of fixtures around game week 30, I would say that game week 30 is going to be a very, very popular time to wildcard. Chelsea's fixtures are going to go bad from there, like they go from Arsenal. You can even say game week 29 is a bad fixture, but there is a possibility that that is a blank. We will discuss it in a second, because in the Carabao Cup, Arsenal face Crystal Palace. It's the game in 5 days. Newcastle faces Brentford, Southampton faces Liverpool, and Spurs faces United. So there is a high chance that we see United, Liverpool, Arsenal, and Newcastle. And then depending on the draw, we can see some major teams missing. So if we have, for example, Liverpool missing in 29, that would mean a blank against Villa. If Arsenal, that is a blank against Chelsea. So maybe a Chelsea stack up somewhere in 33 will be a foreseeable thing, but it's against Arsenal. Newcastle stack up will mean a game against Palace. Brentford blank will mean again a game against Bournemouth. The best fixture to be postponed is Leicester. And then for United to have it on match day 33, game week 33, and it's going to be brilliant. Fulham is not a bad shout out. Southampton, I don't think it's happening. Am I missing a Crystal Palace against Newcastle? So yeah, I think Manchester United reaching the final will be the best thing for FPL wise to stack it up on game week 33. If, for example, Crystal Palace or Newcastle reach the final, it's going to be a blank for if both teams reach it, it's going to be only one blank. But yeah, you get the point. Possibly several teams may, if Palace and Newcastle by any miracle join it, it will be only one blank and it's going to be boring at the end of the day. But yeah, 33 is going to be, I think, a small blank. Not blank, but double game week. And it's going to be good to see if we can attach it here. So if there is a small blank in 29, it might be a good strategy to use the free hit chip there, because imagine you have a lot of players from, let's say, Liverpool in the team. You have, and they reach the final. You have United players. You have things that you want to save. So I think game week 29, if you have 2 games postponed, is not a bad shout out to enter the free hit chip. If you are not willing to do it, and if you wildcard regardless in 30, it might not be smart to use it there. So maybe it might be smart to use it on a team like Everton and activate the triple manager chip and get shown dice because they faces Brentford, Wolves and West Ham. The thing here is that most probably they're not scoring goals. If you pick it for Brentford though, it's being Everton, View and Bournemouth. You see a game against View of probably 5 steps ahead, so it's a possibility. It's not a bad shout out to go for a manager in a single game week, and I'm going to tell you why. Because even if you go for a double game week, you would probably want to utilize the free hit and the bench boost chip, bench boost specifically, because you get players with a lot of doubles and you'll be ready to prepare. So maybe around 36 is going to be good to activate the wildcard. It's going to be a very, very chaotic period around game week 30. From game week 29 up until game week 36, it's going to be way more chaotic. But yeah, I would say that managers from top 7 sites will be 1 million, then the next 7 sites will be 1.5, and the next will be 1 million, and then at the end of the day is going to be 0.5. In my opinion, spending over 1 million on a manager is not going to be an amazing strategy. Yes, you can make an effort and go for a double in, let's say, 31, 32 and 33. And you have it activated there, and you have spent the exact money that you want on that manager, and everything is sorted. You have it in the bank and you do it because you activate it after wildcard. Maybe that's where exactly it should be smart to use it. I don't know yet. We have to see. A lot depends on Carabao. A lot depends on FA Cup. I would say that even if you decide to use it on a single game week, 3 singles, it's not going to be the end of the world, because if you can manage free hit and bench boost in the other doubles, it would be quite good, if you ask me, if you can manage to stack up on those 15 double game week players in the bench boost and those 11 double ups on the free hit. But yeah, this year not a lot of double ups are on the horizon unless more games are postponed. Teams like Bournemouth here will be interesting to target for sure. Teams like Arsenal will be interesting to target. Probably a team like Palace will be interesting to target. So let's go from game week 30 onwards. Yeah, Arsenal for sure are an interesting team to target. Bournemouth for sure, especially up until 33. And if they face Brentford, their game is postponed. It's going to be interesting. Even team like Brighton is going to be popular. Team like City is going to be popular, like a lot more popular. They face in 29. Who exactly? Brighton. So City will have a game against Brighton in 29, so maybe a transfer up to City players. It's going to be not bad a strategy. Newcastle are okay fixture, and Spurs are with Chelsea okay, but after that it's Southampton, Wolves, Forest, Liverpool. It's looking likely like a possible fixture swing around game week 30. You can stack up on Arsenal, City and Liverpool and just run into the sunlight, especially if they have a lot of double ups. The only issue is in 36. Arsenal face Liverpool, and if that's a double game week, it's going to be tough, in my opinion. And tough is not good, if you ask me. Regardless, this is my take for now for the assistant manager. It's a massive wait and see. I mean, massive. First of all, price manager prices. I think that is going to be either Bournemouth or Brentford for me that I'm going to invest, but it all depends on when I want to use my other chips, how I want to pawn it. So yeah, this year it is going to be chaotic for sure. Postponements, cup tournaments, etc, etc, etc. So yeah, I will be, as mentioned, preparing a plan for every possible situations that you may get into. No triple captain, no wildcard second, no free hit, no bench boost, some of them in, some of them out. I will be taking a rotation in everything, and if you fall in any of those horizons, I will present, in my opinion, the best decision for your solution. So yeah, it's going to be a very long video coming your way around game week 22 or game week 23. So if you look game week 22, it's not a very big break, but here we will have an international break after 24. So maybe it's not that. Is it an international break? No, I think it's an FA Cup fixtures here. So no internationals as of yet, but around game week 22, you can expect a cheap video for me. Or even around game week 21. We'll see how it goes, because we'll have a lot of periods where it's okay to just monitor the prices and everything, and we'll have blank weeks. Thanks for watching, guys. Hopefully I made it a little bit more clear to you. Not the best strategy yet, but I will prepare, as mentioned, very, very good strategies. If you want to see those, don't forget to click subscribe. I don't know if I have reached those 1800 subscribers as you're watching the video, but if I haven't, please make it possible. Like the video, subscribe to the channel, and do all of those amazing stuff. Thank you for watching. Thank you for being part of the community. But for now, guys, I'll be heading out. Bye.